Okay, hello everyone. Guys, let's take a look at the assignments for day 11. Guys, the slide showing the video, I opened it up somewhere here, right there. All right, so we have it. That basically got all the answers for us. Let's open up the homework check. At least it's got the answers in the homework check. Guys, the essential question of the day is always first. It's worth 3 points. All right, it's usually the third slide. Again, we're solving by completing the square. That's what we're doing here today. It's a new technique. How does the technique of completing the square help us understand quadratic functions? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to learn the technique. Go ahead and type it in there. Guys, next, if we want to solve a quadratic equation, why do we sometimes have to complete the square? Why don't we just use some other method? Again, as we learned, if you watched the video, I hope, again, we've learned how to solve quadratics, taking square roots, factoring, graphing, all right? But there are some times that are quadratics that cannot be solved by factoring. They can't really be solved by looking at the graph. We need an exact answer, all right? So we complete the square, all right? Cannot be solved by simple factoring or simple graphing, okay? Guess what do we add to some equation? This equation right here, to complete the square. This equation right here, x squared plus bx. I want to complete this. I want to add something to it so I can write it as a perfect square. Perfect square binomial, you might say. Hey guys, we talked about that method, complete the square. There it is right there, guys. B over 2 squared. You take half of b and square it. That's what you add. All right, half of b squared. That's what you add to complete the square. All right, select the correct process for converting a quadratic from standard form to vertex form. All right, I think I had that at the bottom. Right here, guys. Convert from standard to vertex form. You complete the square. That's what you do. This is the technique for completing the square. That's how you do it. You complete the square, okay? Number 5. Guys, what's the first step to completing the square of this particular quadratic right here? See how it's got an A in front? It's got an A in front. All right. Let's go back up here. Solve by completing the square when A does not equal 1. Guys, you have to divide everything by A. You have to divide everything by A like we did right here. Divide everything by 2. That step right there. We have to divide everything by A. It can only be x squared in front when we complete the square. A has to be 1. Divide everything by A. All right, that's the homework check. Guys, we're going to look at the worksheet now. Let's take a look at it. Again, guys, we're completing the square. That's what we're doing. There's 8 problems here. All right, they're written in already in the proper form. So you just want to take b divided by 2 and square it. So negative 26 divided by 2 is negative 13 squared. You always get a positive number when you complete the square, always, because you're squaring that number. You always get a positive number. So it's 169. So I add 169 to both sides, and if I write it like this, then I can write it like a perfect square. All right? Z minus 13. Always refer back to this to find out the negative 13. All right, number 2. Again, b over 2 squared. Well, b here is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4 squared. It's 16. So I'm adding 16 to both sides. When I do, or adding 16 here, when I do that, I get x plus 4 squared. I can write, or r plus 4 squared. I can write it like that. I'll show these to you because I'm kind of run out of time here. Again, x plus 32, x squared plus 32x. B divided by 2 squared. So 32 divided by 2 is 16, and 16 squared is 256. So if I add 256 to this right here, I can write it as a perfect square. X plus 16 squared. That's what this is right here. All right, if we multiply it out, we get this. All right, number 4, 38. Half of 38 squared. 38 divided by 2 is 19. 19 squared is 361. So if I add 361 right there, I get m plus 19 squared. I can write it like that. I can write it like a perfect square. All right, number 5. Guys, don't let these fractions mess you up. All right, just 7/8 times half of that is 7/16. So 7/16 squared, guys, just square 7 is 49 and square 16 is 256. So 49 over 256, that's what I'm adding right here. And when I add that, that means I can write it like this. All right, 7 over 16. X plus 7 over 16 squared. That's what this is right here. Again, you're not sure what this number is? Look back right here and see it. All right, this is 1/4. Guys, half of 1/4 is 1/8. So when I square it, I get 1/64. All right, when I add 1/64 to this, I can write it like x plus 1/8 squared. Of course. Guys, 1/8 plus 1/8 is 1/4. And 1/8 times 1/8 is 1/64. All right, number 7. Again, guys, this is 19, it says here. So just take 19 divided by 2 squared. Just square the 19 is 361, and square the 2, I get 4. Just write it like that. 361 over 4. All right, that means I can write it like this. Z plus 19 over 2 squared. Guys, because 19 over 2 plus 19 over 2 equals 19. All right, and 19 over 2 squared is this number right here. All right, last one. 11 divided by 2 squared, because it's 11 right there. So I get 121 over 4. So if I add that to this side, I can write it like this. And again, 11 over 2 plus 11 over 2 is 11. All right, 11 over 2 squared is right here. All right. Let's just go to the exit ticket. I'm just going to look at it quick. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but guys, half of 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. Look at the middle number. Half of 28 is 14. What's 14 squared? All right. Half of 30 is 15. What's 15 squared? Negative 40. Half of negative 40 is negative 20. What's negative 20 squared? All right, number 5. 8 over 5. Half of that is 4 over 5. 4 over 5. So square the 4 is 16. Square the 5 is 25. There's your answer. All right, this is negative 1. Half of negative 1 is negative 1/4. I'm sorry, negative 1/2. And square that to get 1/4. You get a positive number here. C is always a positive number. All right, again, half of negative 19, and then square it. Right, the bottom number is 4. The top number is 19 squared. Last one again, 12 over 7. Half of that is 6 over 7. So 6 over 7 squared. All right, guys, that's it. That should be all the assignments for today. Thank you.